A chord scale is a scale that belongs to a specific chord in a specific situation. All the diatonic modes that you have learned already are chord scales. If you have a major seventh chord on the first degree, you know that you can use the Ionian mode. If you have a minor seventh chord on the second degree, you know that you can use the Dorian mode. If you have a minor seventh chord on the third degree, you know you can use the Phrygian mode, and so on. So a chord scale has chord tones, tensions, and avoid notes. This chord progression in F major is a 1, 4, 2, 5. So on the first degree, of course, we would play F Ionian. On the fourth degree, the B flat major 7, we would play Lydian. So let's notate that scale. B flat Lydian has all the chord tones, so the root, the third, the fifth, and the major 7th. And it has the ninth as a tension, also the sharp 11, specific notes for the Lydian mode, and the 13th. So a Lydian mode is actually the only mode that does not have any avoid notes. Let's look at an example of an avoid note. Avoid notes are notes that cannot be used harmonically, which means you cannot play them in a chord, but you can play them melodically. You will have to resolve avoid notes because they sound very unstable. In the Ionian mode, the fourth is an avoid note. We will listen to a C major 7th chord and an F in the melody. The F is that avoid note. If you listen carefully, you will feel tension, and the F wants to resolve half step down to the E, which is a chord tone. The rule for tensions is that they have to be one step above a chord tone to sound stable. In the example that we have just seen, the F was only half a step above the E, which makes it dissonant. When we do exercises or tests and exams, we write the scale in whole notes, use the letter T for tensions, and indicate avoid notes by filling the note head and using the letter S from scale tone. For secondary dominants, we have to use the Mixolydian scale or the Mixolydian scale with certain alterations. If we have a secondary dominant that goes to the fourth degree or to the fifth degree, we use a normal Mixolydian scale. Imagine we have this chord progression in F major. All chords besides the F7 are in the key. So for F major 7, we can use the Ionian mode, for B flat, the Lydian mode, and for the C7, the Mixolydian mode. Now F7 is the 5 of the fourth, so we play F Mixolydian. In the next progression, we have a secondary dominant that goes to the 5. So on the G7, we play G Mixolydian. If we have a secondary dominant that goes to the 2, we play Mixolydian flat 13. In this example, the D7 is the 5 that goes to the 2, the G minor. In this case, we have to play D Mixolydian flat 13. For secondary dominants that go to the 3rd or 6th degree, we use Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13. In this example, we have E7, which is the 5 of the 3, so we play E Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13. Now we have the 5 of the 6, the A7 that goes to D minor 7, so we play A Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13. There are 3 more scales that can be used for dominant chords: the whole tone scale, the altered scale, and the symmetric dominant scale. These scales are especially used in jazz, not so much in pop music. The whole tone scale, which works for augmented dominant chords, the altered scale, that can work for dominant chords with a flat 9, sharp 11, flat 5, and sharp 5, and the symmetric dominant scale, that works for dominant chords with flat 9, sharp 11, or flat 13. The most essential scales for secondary dominant are the Mixolydian flat 13, and Mixolydian flat 9, flat 13.